There are about 1,500 flights from the US to Europe every day, and most of them use this particular route right above the ocean. This is a kind of invisible highway of ships in which all the ships fly back and forth from each other at a distance of 60 kilometers. The distance between the sideways is 30 kilometers, while in terms of altitude, they would have been only 1,000 feet below each other. No, about 305 meters. Then you must have experienced yourself or must have seen a video. Many of these airplanes are very close to each other in the sky. It is especially seen in flights from the US to Europe that this invisible highway is used in it. But the question is that when the whole sky is empty, why do pilots stay close to each other here and use only a particular route in these situations? A Japanese was discovered about 100 years ago in 1920. Many weather balloons were sent to Assmann for research purposes. He noticed that at an altitude of 30 to 40,000 feet, there is an invisible force in the sky that moves the balloons eastwards at such a high speed. His research did not pay much attention to the world. But then after 25 years, there was an incident in World War II that started taking the research of Japanese scientists seriously in the world. In April 1945, 6 friends went on a picnic in the U.S. When they went into the forest, they saw a huge balloon lying there. They got excited and dragged him away, but did they know what risk they were actually going to take? There was a bomb fitted in it which exploded due to movement, and 6 of his friends lost their lives. Many more such incidents were also reported throughout the U.S. When the investigation was done, it was found that it was first 10,000 kilometers away from the Pacific Ocean. Was launched. Not just 2 or 4, but Japan launched close to 9,000 balloon bombs. 300 of them fell on their targets in the U.S. Japan-based BRO took advantage of Asia's research to launch these balloons, which reached the U.S. while sitting in strong winds. Since then, this tunnel of strong winds above 30 to 40,000 feet is called JAC. These winds travel from a maximum of 250 kilometers to the east throughout the year. They have a clue. It has also been noticed in this tour and travels in the form of NO, whose width is several 100 kilometers while the thickness is 4 kilometers. And surprisingly, they do not even have a fixed location. Places believe that these strong winds are due to the temperature difference between the poles and a water. When a water-hot air travels towards the pole, jet streams are created, but from a letter to the North Pole. If the wind travels, then it should go from south to north. But why does this cat travel east from west? Its biggest reason is said to be the rotation of the Earth. We mean that you are coming at about 1,600 kilometers, know the anti-clockwise direction with the speed. Rotating from the west towards it. There are no other means. Then I should travel these case winds towards the poles, but the rotation of India is forcing them to travel east. Now we come on to my main question: why do 1,500 airplanes a day use just 1 route a day to go from the US to Europe over Camp Equation? In 1952, line pilots began paying attention to AJT stream. In this way, the Pacific also goes above the question. Similarly, during the journey from the US to Europe, anti-query is also present on the jet stream. During the journey, the pilots deliberately took the ship inside because it was 250 kilometers. Especially it pushed forward, hence the speed of the ship also increased. Another obvious thing is that fuel was also saved a lot. Similarly, if one has to go back to the US from Europe, then the pilots use some other road. But they stayed away from the jet stream because now these winds were in the opposite direction, which had an adverse effect on the ship. Time passed and the airline industry continued to grow rapidly. All the pilots started going towards it. Now what? Started using jet stream? But the biggest issue was said to be the increasing traffic inside jet's team, which could also lead to accidents. This was the work of air traffic control, i.e. ATC, to make the route plan of the flights in such a way that there is no collision with each other inside the jet stream. We all know that the radar installed on the air traffic control tower deduct the location of ships. Based on this location, which plane will fly at what altitude and at what speed? All this ATC is able to manage only after knowing their location. But the issue is that the range of these radars is not that much. You can deduct the position of airplanes within a maximum range of 128 kilometers. That is, assume that the range of New York's radar is only this circle. Its radius is 128 kilometers. Where as soon as they go out of this circle. So how will ATC know the location of the airplane? The ocean is spread over thousands of kilometers, and the ships flying over it send their position every 14 minutes to the satellite and then to the control tower through high radio frequency. But any accident can happen in these 14 minutes. That is why a new system was introduced in 1965 itself. This is called Nodal Atlantic Organized System, or NET-OTS. In this system, multiple routes for flights going to America and Europe. Notes were made in the Atlantic Ocean. For main centers control, the first is New York Station, which controls this part, and the second is Canada's Condor. Newfoundland controls this region. San Maria Oceanic control. There are total 6 routes of NET-ATC to this part, and Sunvig Naden part named NET-A to F. Before takeoff, allot one of these routes to the pilot. Is given or during the flight. If there is heavy traffic on any route, then test shifted from one route to another. These routes have been specially designed in such a way that the traffic gets split and the ships going to Europe can get tailwind. Tailwind is the thing which comes from behind the ship and pushes it. To make these routes more efficient, they are used twice a day. With the help of weather satellites, the location of jet streams is observed and then routes are optimized accordingly, as you can see on this live wind map on the left. USA is right on Europe, and the middle of this is all Atlantic Ocean. If seen on the sea level, then at the center of Atlantic Ocean is the wind speed of 22 kilometers. Inferior at 22 kilometers, this is the whole white pour, which you are seeing. It is actually the jet stream which is spreading from USA to Europe. 6 routes of OTS are kept inside this jet stream, so that even if the location of the plane is not updated for 5 or 10 minutes, then the autopilot system of the plane is net, according to the condition of its route, its speed and latitude maintenance. This is the reason why the planes of Europe used to see us only on these routes. We see these live planes to confirm this thing. Here all the ships known to Europe are traveling from the line in this subject of Atlantic Ocean, while the planes coming back are traveling from this jet stream. Can be seen far.